Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something huge. We are breaking down a highly anticipated, seriously impactful piece of policy, the Philippine Department of Education's 2026 Foundational Guidelines on Artificial Intelligence in Basic Education, also known as DepEd Order Number 003. Now, if you've been following the massive shifts in ed tech lately, you know that AI has practically flipped the traditional classroom upside down. It's spread like wildfire. But with all that rapid innovation comes a desperate need for some ground rules. And that's exactly what this 2026 policy provides, a comprehensive nationwide blueprint for how schools, teachers, and students are going to navigate this brand new digital frontier.
Okay, let's dive into this, because right off the bat, we've got to address the elephant in the room. It's absolutely the #1 fear educators and parents express when they hear AI in schools. Is artificial intelligence going to replace our teachers? Well, the DepEd guidelines tackle this head-on, and the answer is a resounding no. The policy explicitly states that AI is a complementary tool. It's designed to augment instruction and help with administrative efficiency, not to replace the essential, irreplaceable role of human teachers or the holistic evaluation of learners. Human judgment remains absolutely paramount.
To understand exactly how the DepEd plans to pull this off, we're going to break down this complex bureaucratic document into 6 actionable pillars. 1. AI in the classroom. 2. The human-centered framework. 3. New rules for teachers. 4. Guidelines for students. 5. The unacceptable AI risks. And 6. The future of learning.
Let's start with Section 1, AI in the classroom, the rapid arrival of AI. We need to look at the reality of our schools right now and why the DepEd felt such an urgent need to step in.
The rationale is laid out really clearly right in the opening pages. Basically, the informal, sort of Wild West expansion of AI completely outpaced basic education policy. Without a unified framework, schools and teachers were just relying on inconsistent practices. And this unchecked environment, it exposed learners to massive risks. We're talking about severe data privacy breaches where sensitive student info could be scraped by third parties. We're looking at unverified or just totally misleading instructional content generated by AI hallucinations. And crucially, there was a huge risk of deepening the digital divide through the uneven application of these tools across different schools. So these guidelines were born out of absolute necessity to enforce safeguards.
That brings us to Section 2, the human-centered framework, co-pilot, not autopilot. How do you integrate tech this powerful without losing the soul of education? DepEd's core philosophy here is that AI is your co-pilot, never your autopilot. And this brilliantly illustrates the DepEd's overarching strategy. The framework anchors AI in 3 interrelated areas: AI in education, which governs the actual teaching; education on AI, to build AI literacy among students and staff; and AI for education systems, using data to enhance school operations. Notice how the whole shebang circles right back to the learner and the workforce. The guiding principles strictly demand that AI tools be pedagogically appropriate, inclusive, and risk proportionate. The technology has to bend to the needs of the classroom, not the other way around.
At the very heart of this framework is a critical concept, the protection of human agency. The guidelines define this as ensuring that using AI doesn't compromise the intellectual and relational skills of learners and teachers. It specifically mandates that you are not deprived of opportunities to develop your own cognitive abilities. Your intrinsic motivation to grow, to analyze, and to solve problems independently must be protected. Sure, AI can help you draft an outline, but it cannot do the thinking for you. Human judgment always has the final say.
Moving to Section 3, new rules for teachers, empowered but accountable. Let's look at what this actually looks like in practice for the educators on the ground. The big theme here is empowering teachers to save time while holding them strictly accountable for the results.
The guidelines draw a very sharp line between what is totally fine and what is fundamentally prohibited. On the acceptable side, teachers are highly encouraged to use AI for brainstorming, drafting lesson plans, developing rubrics, and formatting quizzes. I mean, that is a massive productivity booster for anyone drowning in paperwork. But look at the unacceptable column. Fully automated grading without a real human validating it, strictly banned. Relying solely on AI detectors to accuse a student of cheating is also prohibited. Teachers have to use multifaceted evaluation, and under no circumstances can AI substitute for direct teacher feedback or the teacher's actual presence in the classroom.
Plus, with these powerful new tools comes immense responsibility regarding data. The policy establishes a strict 72-hour rule. If an AI system is deployed internally by DepEd and a data breach happens, say an unauthorized leak of learner data, incident reporting literally must occur within 72 hours. This strict deadline highlights just how seriously the department is taking data privacy and security.
Shifting gears to Section 4, Guidelines for Students, Age-Appropriate AI Interaction. If you're a parent or a student, listen up, because these rules change significantly based on a child's developmental stage. So, the crucial point is that AI is not a free-for-all across all grade levels. For Key Stage 1, which covers kindergarten through grade 3, AI utilization is limited exclusively to teacher preparation. These youngest learners do not interact directly with AI tools. They are shielded while they develop their foundational cognitive and social skills. However, once students reach Key Stages 2 through 4, spanning grades 4 to 12, direct learner engagement with AI tools is totally permitted, provided it aligns with the curriculum. There's also a very specific age threshold embedded in this policy: age 13. Even if a learner is in a higher grade, if they are age 13 and below, their access to AI tools must be strictly supervised by teachers and requires prior parental notification. DepEd recognizes that parents are essential partners here, so schools are mandated to inform them about exactly which specific AI tools will be used in class.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the DepEd explicitly tables acceptable practices. When learners do use AI, they aren't left guessing what's allowed. Students can use tools like ChatGPT or Gemini for brainstorming. They can use Grammarly to enhance writing mechanics or leverage Canva to create presentations. But there's a huge catch. Any AI assistance must be explicitly cited through a learner's declaration, detailing the tool used and confirming the student's independent understanding. Failure to disclose it, that constitutes academic dishonesty.
This brings us to Section 5, the unacceptable AI risks, defining the red lines. Not all AI technologies are treated equally, and we need to look at the absolute hard boundaries.
Aligning with international standards, the DepEd categorically bans certain AI applications, period, because they pose a significant threat to learners' rights and safety. Schools cannot use AI to infer a student's emotional state from their facial expressions. They can't use biometric categorization to deduce sensitive things like race or religious beliefs. Manipulative chatbots that exploit the cognitive vulnerabilities of children, outlawed. And there is a strict ban on social scoring, evaluating students based on aggregated personal data in a way that could cause unfair treatment. These are hard red lines, no exceptions.
For everything else, DepEd uses a tiered approach, very similar to the EU AI Act. High-risk AI, which includes tools impacting grading or admissions, requires a mandatory privacy impact assessment and strict human-in-the-loop oversight. A real person must review it. Limited-risk AI, like a school chatbot answering schedule questions, simply requires transparency. You just need to know you're talking to a bot. And minimal-risk AI, like basic spam filters or grammar tools, can be used subject to standard IT controls. It balances safety with innovation perfectly.
Finally, Section 6, the future of learning, safe innovation. Let's look at the ultimate goal the DepEd is trying to build for the future of learning in the Philippines.
The policy captures its own spirit perfectly in this quote: AI integration shall be guided by the principle of safe innovation, which shall encourage teaching and non-teaching personnel and learners to explore new tools. I love that. The DepEd isn't trying to lock technology out of the classroom. They actively want to foster creativity. They want students and teachers to be bold, to experiment, and to develop future-ready skills, provided it's done safely and ethically. Which leaves us with the ultimate question as we navigate this wild new era. As AI reshapes our classrooms, will we use it merely as a shortcut to bypass the hard work of learning, or will we master it as a tool to elevate human potential? These guidelines provide the map, for sure, but how we choose to walk the path is entirely up to us. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.